parents and collectors. On this episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, I'm going to be evaluating this big boy. It is Zane's Ice Dragon Creature. Roar! Before I get into it any further, I just want to let you know that I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also do reviews and discussions of other creative works, such as movies, video games, and animation. Because these are in-depth reviews, they can be on the long side, so make sure you're using timestamps down here on the red bar or in the description to jump around to your favorite part, or to use as bookmarks to come back to at a later date. And this is a bit of a big boy, so it's going to be on the longer side. Not the biggest one I've had, but definitely large. So, getting back to this, it's a dragon. I'm excited. But the details on this, well, actually, before I get there, let's look at that box again and check out the back, because there's something on the back that you don't see here on the front. And that's this. Yes, this is a 2-in-1. I will only be doing the main one. Maybe I'll do a quick, I would like to maybe get a second one of these and build this one. I don't know if the instructions are in here or online, but we will find out and I will let you know. So stay tuned for that. But he looks pretty cool in both modes, and I kind of want to get a second one though to build the other one. That we'll see whether that happens or not. But getting down to its details, it is set number 71786. It's for ages 10 and up, which I guess because it's a larger set. It has 973 pieces, and it retails for $99.99 on the Lego website, and it's currently available because it just came out. It was released in January of 2023, just this past month. It's February now. So yeah, I'm excited to put the set together. So let's go open it up and check it out. So this is what we've got inside the box. The instruction booklet is in a nice tight envelope, and we'll open that up after we get through the bags and check that closer look at that. We have one bag here with all the weapons in it, and we have bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, bag 6, bag 7, bag 8, bag 9. And we've got this envelope open, as you can see here, and inside it we had a nice big thick instruction booklet and a small sticker sheet with just mostly flags on it. Not bad. There's that bag of bone weapons, and then the rest of this is bag 1. And we have a brick separator, of course. We have some kind of cape or something with cloth in it. We have a bolt shooter, including 2 bolts, probably one's an extra one. And we got a lot of red, white, and black pieces and some of these skeleton things, so I'm assuming we're building the little building for the bad guys. We also have a clear round part here. Whole bunch of claws. Cones. We have Zane over here and one of the bad guys. That's bag 1. Not too much in there. We have bag 2. Got some clear blue parts. Got one of these. I wonder what it's going to be used for. It's usually used for mech cockpits. Some light blue colored pieces. A lot of studs on side. Pieces all over the place. No figures on this one. Some of these light, very light greenish blue almost. No, that's that. I don't know. It's weird color. That's bag 2. There we have the contents of bag 3. A lot of white stuff. Some hinges. Got these pieces, which I have never seen before. Definitely new to me. I don't know if they're new for this set. Came out this year or what. but very, very interesting. Got some bracket pieces, a bunch more studs on side pieces, of course. Got a lot of this pastel green blue color, and also the yeah, these colored ones, teal. And we also have some bright blue clear pieces. We got these teeth, and then we also have some cheese slices, cheese wedges, pardon me. And that is bag 3. Here we have bag 4. We've got a lot more of the pastel green colors here, and mostly white and gray. A lot of angled and sloped pieces. Not quite so many studs on side pieces. Oh, yeah, that's right. And these are new to me. They're basically larger versions of the... I don't think we have one in here. The other smaller pieces. Yeah, larger versions of the smaller pieces. But that are half of a sloped curved piece. And they have two different, you know, a left and right. No, there's not one in here, unfortunately. We got one of the bad guys in here. This red skull piece, cow skull. Some hinges, claws, more of this transparent blue, more of the pastel color. Some other red parts, which I'm guessing is for the guy's weapon, because I don't think the dragon has any red on it. Maybe it bloodied itself. Here we have the 5th bag, so that makes us halfway done. And we got some really cool parts in here. There's not a lot, but they are large and really cool. We got this dragon head. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Got trans blue and then that pastel greenish blue in there for the face. Looks so awesome. And then we've got a really large gold blade up here and some horns for his head. Definitely built on the head here, obviously. But like I said, there's not a lot here. I think it's mostly head and neck we're building. Some gold pieces, small stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's really not a lot. Here we have bag 6. Got a lot of white pieces. Of course, it's a white ice dragon. Got some hinges. Got a bunch of the armor pieces. Some of these, the heavy-duty hinge pieces for the new creature creation system. Ball joints. Got a lot of pins in here. Not too many, but more than we have had, including these extended pins. Got the transparent 1x2 blue, light blue. We got teeth, more teeth pieces in light blue, and quite a bunch of cheese wedges in blue. I guess I would make them blue cheese wedges, right? That is bag 6. Here we have bag 7. We got a bunch of different hinges in here. Ball bearing ones. Ball joints. Got a bunch of these white angle pieces. The newer came out last year. Angle piece. I don't know what to even call it. Angle bracket? Yeah, there we go. Angle bracket. We got Pixel in here, which I didn't even know was in here because I was too preoccupied with the big, beautiful dragon. And one of the bad guys as well. A couple small parts. There's not a lot here. I think we've got the main body belt. This is a lot of the appendages and stuff. Here we have bag 8, and we've got more hinges. There's not too much in here, but what's in here are in multiples. Like we have tons of these gold claw pieces. Got a lot of these angle brackets. A couple of these slopes. A lot of these rounded 1x2 plates. A lot of these studs and side pieces. I'm sure these are parts for the claws. But yeah, a lot of multiples of pieces. But that's it. That's it. That's all there is. We got one more bag left to go. Here we have the last bag, and there's not a lot here, but what there is big and shiny, like these pieces here. Woohoo! Then we got gold. a lot of gold pieces, some big swords, some other pieces in gold, including hinges. Now these I've not seen in gold before, like the Bionicle Hero Factory ball joint pieces. We got some armor, we got some other little Technic pieces, rods, joiners, things like that. We got pins and different sizes and stuff. And then that's it. That's really it. There's not much here, like I said. What's here is very shiny. Here we have our leftovers, and we have got the brick separator, of course. And we have quite a lot of little gribble pieces. I am surprised that we have duplicate doubles here of some of these pieces. They must have come in different steps, most likely. But we do these transparent blue slopes and these curved pieces. And these 1x1s as well. But nothing too interesting here. We do have a horned skull cap thing, whatever. Originally was out for the Black Panther character from Marvel. And we also got this big toothed jowl piece here that's left over, which those could be fun for some custom figure builds. Other than that, there's not too much of use. We don't really have too much in extra weapons. Well, regular weapons. We didn't get any extra katanas. Now, we still have tons of bone weapons that were left over from the bone weapon pack, which is always nice. Oh, we got a few extra things in there that got stuck in there. So I guess we do have a claw piece. But yeah, there's still quite a few of these bone pieces left over, which is nice. You can arm your old Ninjago bone army with those new weapons. They look great. But that's it. There we have our bad guys for this set. The different bone warriors, or what have you. Because this guy is called the Bone Warrior. And this one is the Bone Knight. And then we have the Bone King. So a lot of bones. Overall, I think these guys look amazing. Individually, well, I like this Bone Knight guy, but I feel that he's got his backpack flag thing, which is it's not bad. It's just that I wish these weren't supposed to be. I wish these were prints. These are supposed to be flags, and there's stickers that go on them. But they're blank right now because I don't usually put stickers on. So that's what that looks like without the stickers, and it's a little disappointing. Most of the stickers in here are for flags, so there aren't a lot, but that's one place where they're definitely needed, and we'll see the other place later in the main review. Other than that, anything I really want to talk about? Oh, the Bone King's cape is just amazing. It's a nice cloth material, but it's also got little cutout holes and stuff in it, looking ragged and everything else. Very nice touch on that. So let's take their gear off so we can take a closer look at their prints. Here we have them all stripped down of their gear. You can look at those beautiful prints a lot better. We got a lot of metallic on all of them, on their bodies and legs and torsos. They are very, very, very heavy metal. Just saying. Very metal indeed. They got skulls, they got chains, they got spikes. Yeah. Kind of cool. Even got some tongue sticking out there, looks like. But these two have the same heads, but their torsos are definitely different. We've got this guy's got a lot more chains, and I think he's my favorite. That would be the Bone Knight. Yes, Bone Knight. This guy's got more of a, doesn't have quite as much heavy metal on him. He's got the kind of the cloth wrappings there on his upper torso, like he's was a mummy or something. You can also see his rib cage in there, which is kind of cool. Can't quite see that. Well, yeah, I guess it is behind these chains. There is a little bit on the Knight. And then we have the Bone King over here. He's got a slightly different color scheme with the red and stuff, and a very different head. Now, I saw that head with the metallic skull. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? That's not Zane, is it? Why is it metal? Didn't realize that this is the first time I've seen the king with his metal head, and different colored head too. Instead of the black, they used the spring green for the whole thing. Very, very different, but still along the same thing. He's got chains, he's got skulls on him, his adornment. He's just got a different color scheme. Definitely stands out as the king should, especially with the additional red, which makes sense. Now, the back of these guys, there are no second faces, which there could easily be on these two, although the warrior, I can understand why not, because he doesn't really have a helmet, but the other two have helmets that would easily block the back second face. Now, the back of these, very interesting. We get like the pattern for like a backbone and more ribs and stuff off this guy, and it's definitely off the other ones as well, although he looks more like a mechanical, like that maybe armor stuff. I don't know what's really going on with the king. He seems more mechanical than actual bony, as a mechanical skeleton rather than a regular bone one. This guy, once again, you can see the ribs on the back of his rib cage and stuff going on there. Pretty cool. He's got some straps and more spikes. And the bow knight, well, the back looks a lot like the front with the chains covering everything, except you can see these spikes that go around the top a lot easier on the back. And overall, these guys are pretty good looking figures. I'm just not, my only complaint is the spring green color that they use here, or whatever it's called. It looks like it should glow in the dark, and if it did glow in the dark, these guys would be even more amazing. But as they are, they're not bad. Here are our good guys in this wave. We've got Pixel, and we got Zane over here. Zane's not much to note because he's the same figure we've seen last year, and actually I think Pixel is the same too. I'm not sure on that, because there was only one other Pixel that came out last year, which I was in the core wave, or the core wave that came out in the spring, and I think it's the same figure. But either way, it looks really good. But we're going to strip them down quick here and take a look at their prints better. We've got them all stripped down of their gear. You can see their prints much better now. And yeah, Pixel's printing there looks really snazzy. Lots of metallic, white, red in there. And even got like it's like a pirate symbol there, which looks pretty cool. The pirate, yet it looks like it's wearing a samurai helmet, which we understand why. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Her face looks nice. And we got Zane over here in his not so happy face. And he's got his robe on. You can see his power source there as his chest is slightly exposed. Like I said, this is nothing new for this set. It's pretty standard for the core wave. And we're going to spin him around here. And funny enough, Pixel here is the only character here that's got a dual second face. It's kind of nice. They got her name on there. Yeah, I really think this is a repeat from last year's, but still, it's a rarer figure than all these guys, which we saw plenty of. So it's nice to get her again. Got her name there. That was the way the figure was last year. It still might be a different figure. I don't know. I'd have to dig her out and find out. And Zane here has got continued that nice blue printing on the back there, and no second face, just the port on the back of his head there. That's typical for him. So that's that. Let's get down to the main review. We've got everything here, as you can see, and we're going to start with the small builds, work our way up to the big main attraction here, the dragon. But before I get to that, I'm going to pull all the figures away, and I just wanted to show before I do that this dragon is actually a two-seater. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but you can get two figures on there, so that's kind of a nice thing. But let's get to it. Starting off with that little turret mech build thing. I don't know. It's got legs. It's a turret. It looks like it's supposed to be a giant bow turret. Now what's interesting, it's got a it's a bolt launcher. As you can see here, it goes all the way through. It'll shoot far. I'm not going to fire it, but what's really nice is, if you didn't notice, when I did the leftover parts, there were no leftover ammo pieces, and that's because we have a place to put the leftover, or the extra ammo here, which I think that's really nice. Storage for additional ammo. And, you know, you fire it off and you load the next one. Doop, fire away. So that's very nice. And the legs on this thing are a bit weird. It's kind of unexpected angle. Usually you see the things go up, and then these joints usually go up, and then you have something that goes down. But these were done differently. I think it's to make it look more bone-like and less spider-like. And another thing interesting is it's got this clear piece on the bottom. Now, I think I don't know if it's supposed to look like it's floating or what. It does add ballast, because I think this would easily fall over with the weight. Like, these skeletal pieces on top would easily make this thing a little top heavy, and it would fall over one way or the other. But because of the weight here on the bottom, below the center of gravity, it has a tendency to stay. But it does stand up on these 4 legs quite fine. It's not super heavy that they can't hold the weight. As you can see down there, zoom in just a little bit. But yeah, you can see it's standing pretty good right there. And it's not touching the ground with that clear piece. So I think that's actually designed there for ballast, which is kind of nice. Now, moving on to our second build here. And that is this, basically a Torii gate. And it's not super amazing build, but it is rather elaborate with what they got here going on top with the skeleton pieces and stuff. And, you know, like, oh, wow, it's a Torii gate, so what? Well, the thing about Torii gates is they can potentially be gateways to other worlds. So, this actually might be the most dangerous thing in the skeleton guy's army, because on the other side of this gate, it could be a giant, huge battalion of skeleton men just waiting to come running through and invade our world. So, this might be more dangerous than you think. Alright, moving on here to the dragon. Or the dragon creature. I don't know what to call it anymore. But we'll take the figures off here. You can see that seat a little bit better. Now, it doesn't have a detachable saddle like some of them do. But, you know, it gets the job done. And it's got its flags here. This is the other place where there needs to be stickers, and there aren't. And those are the last 2 set of stickers. There's ones on this one, and then one on the other one on the outside here. Or you could switch it around if you want it more camera friendly to see the sticker. Like if I was doing it this angle, I bought the stickers on the side. You could just flip the piece around and you're good. While we're here, let's start with these wings, because these wings are absolutely gorgeous, and there's some really clever things going on here. Now I'll see if I can zoom in to that wing. As you see here, there's 2 pieces. The big clear piece, which looks awesome, and then this is a smaller gold katana. And the golden katana fits perfectly in the cutout of the outside of this wing and looks absolutely amazing. And it doesn't really look it like here, but I imagine this would be really great for insect wing design as well, especially with this being a clear piece. I could imagine, not instead of clear blue, this is just completely clear. It would look really good as like a bug wing. And these wings overall look good. Now, I usually don't like the brick, well, not brick built, but the built wings. They look really good, and they have some decent mobility. We got ball joints here, double ball joints down here, and then a regular joint up here. This does not have a lot of range at moments, but it can give it some interesting poses, because this is straight out, looks good like that. Then you can do it at cock it at an angle, although it does not like to stay up like that, but because of the weight of the wing. But it can give it a little bit of an interesting look. But when you do move the ball joints up higher like that, this will stay in place, and then you get an interesting kind of folded up appearance, I think. And it's got a really nice swooping angle there that looks really nice. You're looking down his back here, he's got some nice spikes. The tail, doesn't have a lot of joints. It's only got, let's see here, we got one joint there and one joint there, and that's really it. But this is nice and long, so you move it around a little bit, you're gonna get a lot of motion out of it. And I like the big gold piece here for the tail. It's the same ones that are being used for the wing. Definitely makes it look very deadly. Alright, let's move that wing back up out of the way so we can see the legs a little better. Now you notice it's got 6 legs. And these are pretty much even, like, the size, and the little back leg is a little bit longer than the front. The feet are same design with the claws of these. The front leg has a slightly different design. Has the same claws on the front, but and we got a hinge here, the back of the ankle, and at the hip. No knee. Hip, knee, or ankle, no knee. Hip, ankle, no knee. Although it's at this nice bend here. This one doesn't really even have like a knee. I mean, where would the knee be? It's kind of a weird leg, the little middle one. But it's more there for looks than anything. I mean, even if you pop this off, this will stand just fine on these four legs. Now, moving towards the front here, we got this beautiful head, and I love the print job on it. I love how it's designed with the horns coming off the back and swept up like that. It's got plenty of mobility in the head here for different poses. It's got 2 ball joints, one there, one on the other side. You can have a nice, erect, noble looking pose like that, or straight out if you want to make him more look like he's dashing forward, or just want to make his neck look a little bit longer. Going down, there's a block here, so this does not go down any farther, but you can lower the front of the head here as well, so that's not too bad. And I haven't had too much trouble with the joint, even though the head's kind of on the bulkier side. I was expecting to have more issues with the head flopping down, and that over time it might actually do that as it gets worn out maybe a little bit. But I also think if you keep it in a certain position, like say here, it's not going to get worn out quite so much. Let's see, what do we want to do? Oh yeah, this is a weird thing. I don't understand what's going on here. There's this piece here that comes down and opens up, let's see, like that, and inside there's not a space really for anything. It's really hard to see, but there is a transparent blue piece inside there, and I don't know what the point of this whole thing is for. I don't know if there was some kind of gimmick they were going to put in there and they didn't, or I mean, this is a nice looking chest piece. I imagine they were just using that for the chest, but what's up with the inside and the hollowness and that weird transparent piece inside? I don't know. It's supposed to be like it's hard or something. It's very strange. Now this can be transformed into a mech. We're not going to look at that today. So this piece is probably going to be part of the cockpit that you eventually put the character in for the mech form, but that still doesn't explain the transparent part in there and what's going on with that. I don't get it at all. So that's first. Oh, let's look at the full underside just to see what we got going on here. Now, this is interesting because you hardly see any of this while it's standing upright, but it's got a sand blue underbelly, which gives it definitely a different color. Just too bad you don't see it too much. I mean, you can see it a little bit there, the front of the chest, but you don't see the underbelly that much. So let's head back to the desk, give this a final eval. We're back here at the desk, and I can give you my final thoughts here just before my final evaluation. Now, overall, I think this is a beautiful set and has potential for a lot of fun. We got a lot of bad guys, got some good guys. My biggest gripe with this thing is in some of its designing and how it's built, because it has a lot of pieces that fall off. We'll talk more about that as the final eval goes on, so let's get down to the rating. Now, as far as appearance, like I said, this thing is beautiful. And these guys look great, the bad guys look awesome, their builds aren't bad. I mean, they're more practical, but they don't look like they're thrown together or an afterthought, although they are pretty simple. But they get the job done. They give them bad guys more to use and have, and help balance the set out a little bit. So appearance, easily got a 10. It's absolutely gorgeous looking dragon. Even though it's not a full dragon, I don't know, it's a dragon creature. So yeah, appearance got a 10. Now onto function. Everything works great. I wish it did just a little bit more. Like the firing mechanism works fine. The wings work great. I wish there was a little bit more posability, but I can partially understand why there isn't. And everything works okay with the joints. No knees, but that's expected. The head, the neck, or the tail work great. Now, I wish there was some kind of abdomen joint in here. And it's not like all dragons need that, but I feel like with this one, it's a very long dragon. Plus, you got these extra legs. And having it maybe able to, like, stand up, or at least have half the body be able to lift up a little bit, maybe almost like a centaur type pose, where it's got its four hind legs still on the ground, and its front legs off, so maybe it could like swipe and attack or stuff like that. Which, I mean, it can to some extent because it's got multiple legs still on the ground. We can lift up one claw and whatnot. But I feel like there's nothing bad here as function. But there could have been some more added to it. Like I said, the wings could use a little bit more, but what you got isn't bad, and I can understand why they wouldn't be able to put more into it. So, function got a 9. Now, as far as fun goes, like I said, there's a lot here. You got a really good balance of characters. You got 3 bad guys, plus they have 2 small builds, and yes, as I said earlier, this could be the most dangerous thing of all. A Torii Gate that might be bringing hordes of other warriors along, coming through that gate any moment. And the good guys, there's 2 good guys, so there's more than one. But they also have the big dragon on their side as well. So things balance up. There's lots of room for play. You have almost a small army here with the bad guys. Not too big, but considering they have a ballista too to go along with them, there's quite a bit there. The build was fun too, except for one part, which is still the same problem with having, if you play around this dragon a lot, you're going to have parts fall off. Mostly the problem is these claws, but not only that, the claws are almost understandable and are fairly easy to fix. It's when you get to these legs, and there's these certain pieces here that they've used lots of times before. I think they originally appeared in like one of the car sets or whatever, but the way they designed there have a little flap at the end of it. And the flap would be okay, except these parts have a connection on the bottom for 6 studs, but on this build, they're only connected by 4 studs, and the connection ends up being weaker than it could be, and also it's real easy to hit your thumb on that kind of extended out part and pop the piece off. So you got pieces popping off, and this happens while you're building it as well, though not quite so bad because you put the legs together and then you just pop them in. It's mostly the legs that the problem is. I did have a problem with some of these spikes coming off every now and then, but they're not really that loose. It's mostly these pieces on the leg that pop off easy. Let's see if I can get one off here. Yes, that's these pieces right here. You got this little kind of thing that extends off and makes it real easy to pop off. And then once again, they have 6 stud connection on the bottom, but they're only connected by 4 studs, and that makes the connection weak, and it could be a lot better. So yeah, because of parts falling off, and this also, it makes this more of a display piece, and that's also why I believe it got the +10 rating. I had this issue recently with a Monkey Kids set too, and it was also a 10+ set. So I think they put that in consideration when they do their age thing. This is very much more of a display piece than you want to play with this dragon too much. That being said, if you want to pick up the dragon, I would do it like this. From the mid-torso, put your hand around the top, or these 2 folded down spikes here. Best way to hold it. You won't be touching the legs, so you shouldn't be knocking things off that way. So yeah, fun, got a 9. It is an overall fun set. It's just the design is the problem, which we are moving to next with technique. And yes, it is getting dock points for that. Now, there aren't too many new techniques involved with this. There's some new pieces, but nothing really new, amazing that we haven't seen with other dragons. There is some nice, design with how the spikes are and how it's made to look icy and chunky, and I like that. I've said that about all the dragons lately, that they're very much designed to look like their element and stuff like that. And that's not the problem. The problem is, once again, designing it. This could easily be fixed by designing it differently or using different parts. Something different needs to be done because these pop off way too easily. And yeah, that is the biggest issue with the techniques. There's some bad connecting techniques with some of the details. Now, I had another set before with pieces falling out. That was slightly understandable. There was a lot of small fiddly stuff that was there to make it look pretty. This, on the other hand, is a different story. Like I said, the claws have the same problem, like the fiddly stuff. There's nothing you can do about fixing it, really. They just will pop off. But when you add that on with these, so say you knock off a claw and you go to put the claw back on, but you brush one of these and they pop off, it gets to be a big headache. If these were firmly attached, the claws coming off and popping off and on wouldn't be as much of a problem. And because of that, technique got an 8, the worst score out of all 4. So that brings our average score. When you add all that up together, you get 36. You divide that by 4, you get a 9. That's the average score. And now moving on to the price. Let's see. Well, it was $99.99, and you divide that by, it was 973 pieces, and you get 10 cents per piece, which is our standard, which is very good. And I ended up giving this a G for good, because it's an overall okay set. Yes, I do have complaints about the pieces, and that is poor design, and there is that, but overall it is a good set and a fun set. It's definitely not made for younger kids. Like I said, it's more of a display set, especially the dragon part of it. That brings our final evaluation score to a 9G. This has a lot of potential. It has a lot good going for it. The biggest issue really is these pieces here that I have a problem with. You may have a different opinion of that. I mean, I can understand people not liking the wings because they aren't a certain type of wings, but I think Lego's just going to have problems in general making people happy with the wings, because I think people have different opinions about what the wings should look like. Now, I never liked the really skeletal wings. Like, these may be built up wings, but there's a lot more put into the design. Those skeleton wings are, you know, a few Technic pieces and then maybe some golden swords coming off it, and those feel very simple and weak. And these, despite being built, you know, they're on the larger side. I think maybe they could have used one more blade to flesh them out just a little bit more, but still there's enough here, and there's some design going on here that I like the wings. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now, this is my last of the new Ninjago sets that I currently have. I plan on picking up more. Not going to try to get all of them. I definitely want to get Jay's mech, and then there's some of the smaller sets I want to get. Not a big fan of the motorcycle mech thing. I like the mech in it, but I'm not, money-wise, it's, I don't feel like I'm going to do it unless I get into some excess money or something. I'm not really interested in picking that up. We might sit down and have a discussion on that, because I won't end up doing a top 10 sort of review. I don't do that unless I get the whole entire collection and can really get it, but I might sit down and have a little discussion video just talking about the wave in general. Could say some things now, but I'll save that for that video. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you also want to find out when that video comes out, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also follow me either on Facebook or Twitter, or both if you want to. I send notifications out a lot faster than YouTube on there, and there's also Patreon down in the description, link to Patreon down below. I don't have much going on there yet. Anyways, liking, subscribing, doing all that stuff helps me out, helps the channel grow, and I appreciate it greatly. And like, that's it. I am going to be signing off here at the Creation Evaluation Station and reminding you that creativity is key.